All right, I got the word that the podcast is live. Oh, God, I thought that I didn't even do a test to make sure that the tiki bar was popping up. Oh, my gosh, chat. Oh. So I woke up this morning ready to conquer the day. I got to make business cards, and I got my resume, like all my employment history has been all ironed out on LinkedIn. I thought I was doing good things. I thought I was being really productive and good. And then I had a great talk with my neighbors. We were all gushing over how happy we all are that I have Daisy back, and I got in her and I started her up and I backed her up and she killed, and the check engine light is on. I don't know how much more I can handle. But on the real, here's the deal. I used to be a person where when life would throw me really bad shit and it felt really overwhelming, that I could look at it and I could be like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and as long as my family's okay, I'm okay. My family's okay, and things are stressful, but life is not threatened. I just think I have a toxic relationship with my Jeep because I'm prone to toxic relationships. That's what I think.
No.
I think it might be true. I think she's a gold digger.
No. That's crazy. That might be insane. That's a crazy take, actually.
And Anti-Bull's PSU went out? Oh, well, there's something wrong in the universe. Just that simple. I thought the bad things came in threes, though, and I thought we established that we had already done 3. If this is a rollover, we're like working on 9 to 12. I don't even know what numbers we're at. I just know that I thought we had reached another 3 bad level increment, and I don't know how to react today. I had got up, I was ready for my day. It may be the weekend, and I might not plan to drive too far, but I was going to be productive, and nothing makes me feel better than being productive. And then it all went to shit.
Aww.
But it's okay, because it didn't all go to shit, because my plan was to stay home. See? So even though her doctor's gonna, when her doctor gets home, he's gonna let me make a Saturday. It's funny because he could come to me, but we're so close that it's just as easy for me to turn around and, that might be the text. That might be the text. Is that the text I need? Oh, that's the text I need. Oh, hold on a second. All right.
Wow.
Let me just tell him. All right. Anyways, so that was him. He said, go ahead and bring her on by, and I will. But we're going to finish our podcast too, because this is a daily podcast. And I guess I'm going to maybe have to go live again to maybe update everybody. I don't know. You might have to just go follow on YouTube or go subscribe to YouTube. And so that you can see my community posts, because I use community posts on YouTube, kind of like I use Facebook. You can also go there. You could go to Facebook if you really want to know what happens to Daisy right now. I am so upset. I had all this stuff to do regarding, we have plans to get, like, we're trying to fix life. And I'm really afraid.
It's just no work.
I'm really afraid, though. It is working, though, because you know what? I would rather struggle with my finances and struggle with, like, my material world objects and struggle like that than the struggle I had in the last couple years. At least I am mentally sound enough finally to not feel like this is such the end of the world that I'm never going to recover, because that's what everything felt like to me in the last 2 years. So I'm very much.
Is there a no struggle option though?
Not in my lifetime.
Can I choose that one?
I don't think.
Can I do none of these?
I mean, I gave you that for 7 years. We had a very bubble-esque world of happiness and healthy dynamics and relationships and communication, and we were grounded and everything was good. That may be all you get, because that's the only time I've ever had in my life. Well, I know, but I don't think that's how life typically works. I think we got like a huge long vacation just to try to give us a break, because life's always been a struggle for me since I was little. So I don't really know. I think it's just a thing that happens, which is why I was so keen on spending time getting my mental health straight the first time, so that life didn't feel so hard, because it is hard. And being able to be a more go with the flow person. And then it all blew up in my face. And then I spent 2 years in darkness. And then. But here's what I know today. Daisy, stop it. I can't handle Gunner. You're really, really breaking us here. Like, you can't do this to me, Daisy. All right? So I'm going to take you over to the doctor, Daisy. And what you're going to do is be a good freaking Jeep, and you're going to turn around and just be like, oh, I'm just a little low on oil, or, oh, this little fucking thing is just not connected properly because it's shaking free because I fucking am a vigorous ride and everything vibrates and fucking God only knows what's been loosened up in the fucking short. I haven't even taken her 100 miles yet. Actually, I think we just hit 100 this morning. She's got to be okay. So, I just told the mechanic that I got to take a few minutes because I just went live because we've only been live 7 minutes. But then I'm going to take her over there. I'm probably not going to go live again, like I said. But on the other side of things, I'm still going to get my real life job, okay, guys? But really, if you guys really want to help me out, what really would help me out right now is subscribing, sharing, liking across all my platforms that I am at least active on, which would be Facebook, YouTube, and here on Twitch. Just share me because we already talked about this. I am like a cognac. Most people don't know I exist, and it's a very expensive, specific taste. Okay? Like, here's the deal. I'm not going to be for everybody. I'm going to be boring for a lot of people. I'm going to be loud for 99% of the fucking world. I'm going to be all kinds of things because I am just a whole smorgasbord of difference and whatever. But I'm me, and that's who I am. But finding the people who enjoy people, I was going to say like me, but there's only one me. But finding people to, that can relate and enjoy, well, it's going to be a smaller club. It's going to be a smaller thing. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. I just want to find the people that like the tea so that they can, give me emotional support when my Jeep breaks down because you guys, I lost all my friends. And honestly, I just need to talk about it. That's what this whole podcast is truly about. Me recovering and just being like, I don't need anybody. I just wrote a blog this morning on my self-independence. But at the same time, I like to talk too much to have no one to talk to. So we're podcasting because who better to trust than the internet? I mean, obviously the people close in my life weren't good enough. So I'm just saying, I'm just at a point where I'd rather find the people that are my people and let them find me. And I mean, we may need help connecting, all right, on the real, because I am highly annoying to many people. I mean, I'm not Jacksepticeye or anything.
Wow. Wow.
Top of the morning. I remember when you kids started watching him and I was just like, oh my God, if I have to hear that again, I'm going to die. And honestly, though, I really like his content, but it's just his grandiose nature that was a little, for me. And I have a grandiose nature that is definitely going to be that way with everyone. Yeah, LP is right. The fight with the YouTube algorithm is for real. And I'm a new channel because I figured why build on the channels because I used to stream. Why I have 320 subscribers over on one of my channels. But the thing is it was a different brand and it was a different, I'm rebuilding my whole life. I'm a whole new person. I need a whole new start on everything. I needed a whole new job. I had to get a whole new place to live. I had to get a whole new vehicle. Only she's a 2002, so she's not a whole new. But now she's got a whole new transmission and a check engine light on. So what the hell? Life's sometimes just a bitch. I'm so glad that I could spend all this time fighting all the way through trauma and fighting so hard and finally getting, I don't even think my brain's 100%. It's just back to a livability that I can handle. I have enough emotional regulation now. Don't get me wrong. I still get those intrusive things every now and then, and I'm going to have CPTSD probably forever, but I am getting strong enough to shut the door on those demons when they happen and not be impulsive in reaction. But I'm also only would get a 7-day chip right now, chat, because I was impulsive it's been more than 7 days, 2 weeks. Actually, I looked, I think it was June. My last impulsivity was June 7th. So actually gaming, okay? But I finally had enough and I'm fucking done. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna care about this shit as much as I fucking care about it. If it's going to lead me to react in an impulsive manner because it's triggering, and it really truly is, because I have trauma and PTSD, then maybe I should not freaking do that. I need to get self-control. I just have to. So I spent the time since I had that last blow up going, you know what am I going to do to change? What do I need to do? And then I started the podcast. And the podcast has been a lifesaver. It has literally allowed me to not have to talk to that person anymore at all or need them in my life because I just found it was the last person I felt like I could share life with. And I thought, why not go to the internet and just share my life as it happens? If I need to talk about it, why not go to the internet? I mean, there's people out there that are probably struggling or can relate, or there's people that want to, hear what I have to say. And, if those people want to do that, then hey, that works for me, because I just want to find like-minded people who are cool to hang out with, all right? And it's just not a big enough pool in a physical sense going out into the real world. I'm sorry. There's just not. I am too different. I'm loud. I'm vulgar sometimes. I'm bitchy. I'm also loving and inspirational and motivational. But there's a lot of other stuff to put up with in there. And if you can get through the worst, then you get the best, no matter who or where you are. So, but it all comes as a package deal, because that's who the fuck I am. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie. I had a plan with this podcast this morning, and then I literally started talking about Daisy, and then the mechanic texted me, and I want to know what's going on, and I can't focus now. I am just absolutely, I don't know what to do. It's gonna be a short podcast chat. And then you'll have to subscribe or follow or whatever you do on all those places, because I will post updates to find out what's wrong with Daisy. This is going to put a big hiccup in our Duck Me campaign. I'm sad. And I'm stressed out.
Sad.
I literally just poured all of our rest of our freaking life into her, financially speaking. But I'm going to figure it out. I always do. And I'm going to get there. And my grandmother always said, this too shall pass. And I used to be like, Grandma, I need to pass faster. And now I'm freaking like, Grandma's been dead for like 20 years. No, not that long. But she's been dead a long time. And life keeps passing. And I keep surviving it. So she was right. Smart woman. Who also was a powerhouse of a woman, because she went to work when you were supposed to stay in the kitchen for real. And she freaking ended up becoming got a gold watch and everything, working for the IDS tower in Minneapolis. She was a go-getter, and she didn't whine about crap. And I need to not whine about crap too, because she's not here to whine to. Ugh. Okay. But I have the internet, see how that works? Can't replace people, but I can talk about it. It doesn't matter if only one person watches it, and if it's me. The fact that I could say it is just letting it go and then moving on. And we're going to have to let it go and move on. And I'll update everybody. I had it in my mind. One of the things I was going to talk about, my great progress and how proud I am of myself for taking the measures that I need to take, where I think that that's how life works out. But this threw a wrench in it, literally. So, my inspirational speech on how, when we're doing the right things in life, going the right way. This is one of the things I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because I really do believe, guys, that when we have a plan, there's some higher power that has a plan for us. And sometimes we're really stubborn and resistant to what is best for us because we don't even know it exists. And so we literally try to hold on to things that we shouldn't hold on to. And we try to force things that we think we want because that's what we think we want. And we're humans, and we go to try to get it, but it's not in nature's plan. And when it happens, and when it's not nature's plan, and you go against those, and you don't even know they exist. I mean, whatever they are, whatever the plan is, you don't know it is there. But when you go against it, life gets real hard, because when life feels hard but tolerable, you're usually going the right way. So I guess maybe I'm going the right way, because I guess today, even with the check engine light on, I'm not freaking out. I'm emotionally regulated. I'm okay. I'm a little pissed off. I'm annoyed, slightly frustrated. I don't like being stressed, but I'm okay. I'm also an exasperatedly whiny, screaming fucking banshee around this house right now. But I'm smiling too. I'm just all over the place. That's great emotional regulation. I just realized how much that contradicts it. But for me, it is, because I'm not melting down and in my bed crying right now. I guess that's the point. Because for me, I'm not taking my frustrations out on people that have nothing to do with it by withholding myself. I am only truly illy affecting myself. I have emotional control and regulation for everything else, so we're going to take this as a win. And then I'm going to beg everybody. We need a YouTube, YouTube. We need to get commands in here so that we can pull things up. It's really easy though, guys. It's Andros Bar. No apostrophe because it's all one word. But Andros Bar on YouTube. And then Andromeda Siren on Facebook. Because that's me. I'm Andromeda Siren. I legally am actually. Remember that achievement? I'm legally able to actually, I am Andromeda Siren. I can say that. I can do, because when I started writing Siren stories, I went and got a tax ID and registered Andromeda Siren as a sole proprietorship as an author of Siren stories. So yeah, I am business. You guys, I'm not gonna be able to do anything until I go get the Jeep checked. But at the same time, I have no clean clothes right now. And I'm like, that's horrible too. I hand washed all my clothes in the bathtub this morning because I was worried about how much it would cost to have to use the laundromat. And I'm not willing to spend extra money. And so I hand washed my clothes in the bathtub because ain't nobody can hold me down. As long as we have a roof over our head and our family's all okay, we're okay. See? It's back. My whole new Alabamian cover. Imagine Corpus is, remember how we were going through life and repeating everything? Corpus is our Alabama. But I don't want to leave in 7 years. I don't ever want to leave. That's where we make new choices. Not leaving. Not leaving. I have to drive her over there. I don't even want to drive her. She scares me. I have a toxic relationship with my Jeep. I have trauma. I have Jeep trauma. She costs so much. Why do people do this to themselves? How can you love something so much and it sucks all your money away? Oh no, I really do. That's every relationship I've had. That's how we ended up broke. Oh no. What if I'm not really healing and Daisy has just replaced the people in my life? What if I don't know when to walk away? That's a test. Dear God. Dear God. You wouldn't do that. Please. Don't make me walk away from Daisy. Some things are worth fighting for. Some things are worth. Daisy's pushing me to literally combat the parts of my trauma and PTSD. Like, she has forced me to not be too nervous and anxious to go back into getting a job and not have to, because I was looking at disability. I was looking at full disability, and technically I qualify with fucking 1,000 times down. But it's not what's best for me. What's best for me is get out and then get a job. And Daisy is forcing me to do that. And that is good. That is good and good and good. And I'm going to do it because she's forced me to get better. So she can't be all toxic, right? Like, this is one of those scenarios where, like, there's pushback, but we're going to call this, I don't know. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like she takes all my money and breaks down and lets me down and is unreliable, just like every relationship in my fucking life. Yikes. Okay, guys. It's 20 minutes. That's long enough. I'm going to go check on Daisy. If you guys want to hear the updates right away, we'll either let you know tomorrow when I go live again for a daily podcast, or you can find out early and go head on over to Facebook, Andromeda Siren, or to Andros Bar on YouTube. Or, you know, can I post anything? There's not really a place for me to post on Twitch. Sorry, so it's going to be that way. All right, guys, I'm going to go and find out why lights that have never been on my dashboard before, and I was questioning whether or not they worked because of her age. We now know they do, and I guess that's the positive thing. We know the check engine light works. I mean, it's a good thing, good gauge to have. So that's the upside of this, and I'm going to go find out why the hell it's happening. And she is grounded for 2 days because I had plans to stay at home and get my life straight and get prepared for Monday. So she gets 2 days, and everybody say a prayer for me, please, because seriously, if she continues to take money from me, I'm going to need 2 jobs, and I'm just getting out to a point where I'm forcing myself to get one. So, you know, So, but I have my mixology certificate, TABC, food handlers. I've done everything. I put my resume together. Okay, I'm working on it. The plan is to drop them all off on Monday. So, I mean, I can make my own money, and I would prefer wait staff because that way I can make tips. And then basically my paycheck will go to paying my life, and my tips will probably be taken by my toxic relationship with my Jeep. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. Take care.
3 hours later.
Daisy update. All right, guys. We have good news. Well, we have some kind of questionable news. Here's the deal. Daisy was fixed by a third party. The transmission was rebuilt by a third party. My mechanic himself did not rebuild it. And now Daisy has 2 doctors. I don't know. Would the guy at O'Reilly be like her nurse? I'm not sure how it works. Because so I went to see my mechanic. My mechanic ran a thing to see if the check engine light came back. Nothing was pinging and coming back as like a problem. He said sometimes this can happen if you don't twist the gas cap so it goes click, click, click. He said usually what we do is we clear it and we wait and see if it comes back again. And then if it comes back again, we investigate deeper. I said, wonderful, okay, that's fine. So the light is gone. That makes me feel better already. It hasn't come back. But here's the deal, guys. He checked the transmission fluid while I was there because I told him, I've only got about 100 miles. I mean, I gave all my money to fixing her. I didn't have money for gas. But anyhow, so he checked her transmission fluid and was like, ooh. He's like, and how far did you just drive straight over here from your house? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, well, it's low, but how low? He goes, I need you to drive it around. And he's like, let me see if I have some just to top it off here. And then he didn't have the transmission fluid. So he had to call one of his buddies at O'Reilly. Fucking stupid commercial.
Oh my God, no.
But anyways, so he called one of his friends at the auto place, and and then was like, hey, she's gonna run by. Can you put, transmission fluid in her Jeep for her? Which was super awesome because here's a problem. Even though I can check my own transmission fluid, and I definitely learned that, and my mechanic taught me because he teaches me things, and I love that, so I can be a better car owner. Here's the real tragedy, you guys. Here's what I think I learned. I spent the whole morning talking about how I have a toxic relationship with my Jeep. I was wrong, chat. I was wrong. My Jeep is in an abusive relationship with me because I didn't even know where her transmission fluid was. Like, I was struggling to find it. I'm too short to reach it. I thought there was a reservoir. It actually took 2 people at O'Reilly. Because I guess she's just different. She's built different. But anyways, they got a funnel. Different. Yep, they got a funnel. Come to find out, she transmission fluid what? It was so low. So this nice gentleman helped me out. Told me he had to go to lunch, so I went and came home and did some things, and then needed a driver to get her hot to get back so he could check. And he was like, "I'll just check it. We just want to make sure there's not too much in case we have to, drain some." So he walked me through his tips on checking the transmission, which was super awesome. All right, he checked it. He also got underneath her and just made sure that nothing was leaking down or anything, and said she looks all good. Does have an oil leak. I said, David made me aware of that. I was like, it's on the list. The next thing that needs to be fixed, and when I'm done paying for this one. Anyways, he said it's very minor. It's not a big deal, which is good because at least I know how to check my own oil. I mean, my mama always taught me, you got to check your own oil and you got to know how to change your own tire. So I learned those things and a little bit more, but I'm no mechanic. So the nice gentleman, once he put the transmission fluid in and I went to drive her home, absolutely no problem. She's never run better before. But I'm an abuser apparently to her. I'm not a good Jeep owner. I need to learn things. I will. I am here to own my shit and my flaws. I failed her. There's no excuse. If I'm going to buy a machine like this and I'm going to love it this much, then I have to love it this much, which means I'm going to have to learn things about mechanics. So I'm totally willing. The good news is I've now she has 2 trusted individuals, and her second trusted individual gave me 2 more names so that if Daisy's ever in trouble, I think she's got a team now that I can call on to either teach me how to fix things, help me figure out how to fix things, or apparently they'll just crawl under my Jeep and fix them themselves because that's awesome.
That's game.
That's gaming. That's gaming. Like I love that I did not have to like he put the transmission fluid in for me and everything. But I'm not using any names because technically they're not supposed to do that. But it was more of like a favor and like whatever. So we don't want to talk about it too much, you know. I'm not talking about where I said the name of the place, but I'm not giving no names. Dude saved my life. I'm now going to be a lifelong customer over there. I'm just saying. What? Oh, as I said, I'm gonna have to go back and edit now. Right?
I don't remember hearing his name.
But anyways, so
I think he might be being hung.
but the point is, no, I'm very thankful. Because even with my heels on, which that was another thing I got to learn today, guys, this bronze nature of the beach looks great with my heels. But also, because I haven't worn my heels since we've pretty much been here. What am I going to do? Go to the beach in my heels? But I wasn't going to the beach. And so anyhow, so Daisy's got full transmission fluid, drove home beautifully. Okay. She's amazing. And now I just have to make sure I do what I said. So she's all gassed up and she's ready to go turn in resumes on Monday morning. We're going to do life. But what I did realize also being out and like, and having to go out is because I had talked about in the morning stream about how like, I'm trying to keep my positive nature. And I mean, this sucks. And I just, whatever. And then I blamed her for, you know, being toxic. And it turns out it was me. Cause sometimes that's the way life goes. But when it goes that way, there's only one thing to do. Own your shit. I'm a toxic, abusive Jeep owner. But
you dirty Jeep owner. I can't believe you do that to your Jeep.
I know. But it's okay. Because I've now learned about saltwater rinses. And we're going to take good care of her moving forward. We're going to get better. I'm going to improve. I understand the errors of my ways. I have failed. I can't be good at everything. But I can learn. And I won't let her down again. I didn't mean for this to be this way, but apologies are nothing without change. So I will change. I might even, you know, like see if Udemy offers a basic mechanics course and get a certification to be able to, you know, I don't know. This sounds dirty to me.
What? Huh?
No, mechanic work is not my favorite, but I'll do it. If it's what I have to do to take good care of my Jeep, I'll do it. I'll put my hair in pigtails and get on overalls and crawl underneath the Jeep. I'll do it. Not today, though.
I don't think the pigtails are necessary.
Oh, they absolutely are. If I'm going to have to put on an yeah, absolutely need pigtails. Absolutely. Definitely. But yeah, but it was fun going out and I got to meet a bunch of new people at the place where we went to the auto store. Got to meet a bunch of new people there that are really cool. And so I feel really cool now that I can go up there because there's a lot of things that I want done to Daisy that I got to do myself anyway because I just can't afford it to be done by other people. So I can learn. Gunner's done a real number on putting Jurassic claws in the back of her paint job and we're on the beach.
Jurassic claws.
So we're on the beach. So, I mean, it's just a matter of time before she starts rusting. I already know how to take parts off and sand. I don't have the tools. I don't know, but I mean, Daisy is getting a team. It turns out that, if you want to be my friend now, you have to love Daisy, period. End of discussion. That's my new fucking barrier. These are my new boundary rules. Look, if you say one bad word about my Jeep and we can't be friends.
That really?
Okay, there's one bad.
Your Jeep's stupid.
No, there's one bad thing I will allow. You can say one bad thing about her and I'll tell you which one. No, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Out. I'm homeless now. I need money. I need financial bereavement.
Listen to me, for real. There's only one bad thing that I will allow to be said about her. She's a gas guzzler. Man, Daisy, you got to curb your drinking problem because
you need to allow
$50 this week
to say about her.
in gas. No, but no, she was crying to me and I wasn't listening. I blamed her for being in a toxic relationship. Yeah. I was the toxic perpetrator here. I'm a manipulator. I manipulated my Jeep and didn't take good care of her. Oh, but now that I learned,
Crazy.
I'm going to do better. She's okay. So she got a bath this week and she's getting I'm taking better care of her. I promise I will learn. I also joined a Jeep club this morning. I joined the local chapter of Jeep Addiction.
Did they accept you?
Not yet.
So you didn't do any shit.
Wow. You know, it's okay. I wrote a blog this morning on being alone. I don't need to be accepted by anybody. But please accept me, Cheap Addictions. I need to meet my people. So, yeah, and then we got to the gas station and I interacted with a Bronco owner like she wasn't even a Bronco owner. So, see, I've done my good deed for the day. I've been forgiven for all my sins.
I was nice to a Bronco owner. That should count as being okay. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Jeep community would understand. The Jeep community would absolutely feel me, which is why I need to join the Jeep community. I'm joining the Jeep cult. I don't care. They're like the Harley Davidson people, only with Jeep. So I'm going to do that. That's going to be me. It's going to be awesome. No, you know what though? God, it felt fun because I've had to drive her a lot today. Those were the rules. Mechanic says you got to drive her. Then, you know, the guy at the auto place says you got to drive her. And I'm like, I got to drive her? Okay. That's my job right now. I need to do this. Oh, well, I was planning on sitting at home and being productive because I love to do that. But it sounds now that my production was that I needed to take her for a drive. It was amazing, which I got to text my mechanic and be like, dude, you're awesome again because he's so awesome. I am going to have to go back to all of the Daisy recordings and put a link to his contact information because if anybody is in the Gulf Coast area, I mean, I don't know how far up, you'd have to look him up, but I think he even goes up to Port Aransas. But, I mean, he's like a very busy guy right now though. But he absolutely, I mean, was like, because I was like, I panic. I literally go and it's like going to a therapist. Only, well, he's working on the Jeep. I'm like, I just don't know what I'm going to do. And I just don't know if I can handle this. And what if something's wrong? I don't understand. There was no check-in engine light before. What did I do? Well, this time, bitch, you didn't check your fucking transmission fluid when you have a brand new transmission, which the guy at the auto place got very defensive. He's like, if you just had this rebuilt, it shouldn't have even needed any. And so what I'm guessing happened is because of the whole way is that her transmission fluid, like it was checked, it was at a like okay level, but she hadn't been ran yet. I had to break in the transmission and I guess you're going to burn some of it off with that, whatever, but that's not to this level. So he ended up filling it and he filled it absolutely perfectly. He was very proud of himself. I was very happy too. So anyways, yeah, like, so here, how about this? Because I'm going to repost. What I'm going to do is I got to put the two streams together because they always go up on YouTube. But you guys, if anybody's watching and you have a tip for me on how to be a better car owner, because keep in mind that I just lived 5 years without my license. And before that, the only baby I've had was I bought a 1991 in 2000. I bought a 1991 GMC Jimmy. All right. I took good care of that. That's the last time though. When she died, that's the last time that I did anything remotely close to maintaining my own maintenance because I've walked almost everywhere and then if not Ubered. And so I'm kind of a noob on the whole vehicle maintenance. So if anybody's got good tips or wants to tell me like, okay, so far I've gotten that, you know, when you take her down, she won't last at all if you don't fucking make sure you rinse her. My neighbor told me that I should get some rhino lining for the underneath of her so that salt water doesn't damage her. Because I go to the coast so much, like onto the actual like ocean. And then like the beach. But then I was told like, I just various things, transmission fluid, how to check it. I have the absolute rundown by 2 different people now that I can check it. Okay. Okay, I know how to check my own oil. I know how to change my tires. But now outside of that, that's it. That is my resume for understanding vehicles, okay? Give me your best tips. What do I do to be the best car owner I can be? Comment on the stream or the video and tell me how to not be an abusive Jeep owner, okay? Because I literally spent the whole morning being like, she takes my money, she's unreliable, I'm in a toxic relationship. No, bitch, you're not caring for her, you're an abuser. Okay, well, I hear you. I didn't do it right. I'm all right, I'm gonna own my shit. I own my shit, I'm not afraid to. I was bad. Bad me, okay? Not congratulations me, I'm not so smart.
Bad.
Well, I'm gonna, that's what I learned, that's the whole point. An apology is worth nothing. Wow, don't be bad at taking care of cars. Thumbs up from LP. That's his advice.
See, it's solid advice. Just get better.
All right. I'm going to need a jumpsuit that's in a preferably a pale to light blue with my name embroidered on the right-hand side that buttons up and I have to step into it, and some new pigtail holders. That's how I look the part for being
Or
a
you're
mechanic.
not going to get any of that shit, and you just take care of the Jeep. Sorry, my
I
inner
dress
mom
for-
came out.
Oh, I dress for every occasion, though.
Daisy, get the fuck over it.
Well, I'm certainly not crawling under her in my heels. It's a beautiful day out,
Use the
chat.
word sometime. Birds are singing. Flowers are blooming. What?
It sounds like the start to Deltarune.
How do you know it's not Deltarune, for one? Secondarily, I'm surprised that you managed to get that.
It's Sans. That's a Sans quote.
Yeah, that is a Sans quote. You're correct. What the fuck? Sometimes the knowledge you pull out of fucking like gaming knowledge it baffles me.
Why does it baffle
like,
you?
a couple
Because you think I don't talk to you and I don't listen to you?
No. Because of this. Just a little while ago, isn't
that the one with Flowey?
Streaming. Yes. Not the one with Flowey. But no. This is it. You managed to pull like an obscure quote. Well, I guess it's not necessarily obscure, but it'd be obscure if you've never played the game. You pull that quote, you know what it fucking is. And you know that, but a week ago, you didn't know Silent Hill, a game franchise that got popular at the same time as Resident Evil and was during your fucking time on the PlayStation. What?
Well, I obviously love
It just doesn't make sense.
Really? Because I listen to you kids even when you think I'm not. And I love you so much that I actually retain information. And LP happens to be a huge fan of Sans. And I pay attention to things. And then you guys made me experience Flowey, which was horrible.
Actually, you know what's funny about that is Brandon actually would have exposed you to it because he was playing it in the hotel, and I read all the text for him. So I guess you did basically play Undertale.
Well, Brandon's one of my kids.
Sat there.
I'm sorry, but I have loved and cared for him for 2 years now. Okay? He's adopted. That didn't.
He's adopted.
That doesn't work well if we say that this way, especially given his whole family history. I have adopted him as one of my children. I love him just as much as I would love. I'm not going to love him any differently. And you know what? No matter what his problems are no matter what disagreements his mother and I may have had or how either one of us feels about one another, she trusted me with something that is very precious to her life. How she treats her precious things, I mean, that's a different story. But she trusted me with something that I know is very precious to her life. And that is not something that I take lightly. It doesn't matter what I think of her. He's not going to get fucking shit on just because, she and I have a falling out. He's him. She's her. Her behavior upset me. I love Brandon just like one of my own children. He is never going to be outside of that. He is just one of you guys. And what's ironic about that is I just never believed that I could love another child. Like I'm not trying to claim that people who adopt children cannot love them, okay? But what I'm saying is giving birth to my own, I always just assume that there's a certain tie that just can't be forged when you take on. That's not true. I was wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I'm not always right. See? And the truth is that Brandon for me.
Finally admit it.
Brandon for me is somebody that actually I'm probably a little overprotective of him. He probably gets a better side of me than my own children do in a lot of ways. But overall, no, I treat him like my kid. I don't treat him I treat him nicer than I probably treat my birth children on occasion, but he's also a different, gentler soul. I raised my kids, they had to put up with me their whole life. I can be very abrasive. We talked about this. I can be a real bitch. That's not what BK has been raised with. Well, I mean, he has though. A multitude of them. But no, I mean, my kind of level of I can make somebody feel like I know that I have some qualities about me that are not great, and I wouldn't want to inflict them on him. So he gets, you guys are used to me. You've grown up with me your whole life, so I might be a little softer on him. But as far as my love, he's one of my kids. I think of him as one of my kids. I would do everything for him that I would do for one of my kids. And And we're really, really actually getting to that point because I've started really doing for him like I would do for my kids, which also means kind of being bitchy. But it's taken 2 years, you know? And then after I'm bitchy, I tell him it all comes from a place of love because I want him to be his best person he can be. Because, I mean, with you kids, that was always the thing. God gave me the job of being a mother. That's the most important job that anything I could ever be given. And it was one that I was getting, and I could, like, in my mind, I guess I didn't ever want to fail at it. And Lord knows I have 1,000 times over in different ways, but I think we've grown together as a family. And I think that's what it's really about. You know, I'm not a perfect mother. I'm not, you know, I haven't always done everything right. I've been overbearing, overprotective. I've been, you know, I was really toxic in the first 10 years of my marriage. So IG's first 8 years or so was like, I mean, if it would have continued, I mean, he wouldn't be who he is today. I believe that 100% because I had to get better. But I did it the first time and I'm going to do it this time too. And I'm fucking amazing. Like, I mean, there's nothing I can't do. I just have to put my mind to it and I have to want to enough. And if I want to take good care of Daisy, I'm going to need a light blue jumpsuit thingy that mechanics wear with an embroidered name that says Andromeda and pigtails. I just need to be able to dress for the occasion. I can do my sandals. I don't need shoes. Who needs shoes? We don't have to work with that. I'll be a beach mechanic. So if Daisy really is fixed, though, you guys, we have to get something fixed on her front harness. It looks bad. We have a little owie out there. But after that, she's got a winch and everything. I want to join the 4x4 free pull people out of the beach club. I want to go and hang out with a bunch of Jeep owners and free service. They pull people out of the beach when they get stuck. They saved 2 today because apparently the sand is really soft down there right now. I must have washed it because I saw a sedan and a truck locked up and lost on the beach. They had to get pulled out. And there is a group of people down here on the coast that will do it 100% for free. It's like 361 4x4. I don't know. It's on Facebook. I finally found it. My neighbors told me about it repeatedly. I finally found them this morning. I am going to join the Jeep cult in the area. I already put in my application, and then I'm gonna be a helper. I'm gonna go save people on the beach with my Jeep when she's all strong enough to do so. Because look, I'm gonna be who I was before, but with like guard up, bruh. That's what it is. I'm gonna put my guard up. And I'm going to be, like, I always wanted to make people's lives better. And my psychiatrist said that I had a God complex because I believe that everybody could survive things because I had survived things. And that's not up to me because people have to put in the effort themselves. And he was right. But superficially, like, helping people without full investment where they can fully disappoint me or I expect, like, some sort of return. Because I guess even though I said I didn't, you know what I expected in return of all the people that I've helped? That they would put in the work to themselves and strive to be better, and they all failed. Nightstar gave up on her, you know, therapy. Xavier gave up on his mental health in general and just decided being a narcissist was easier or displaying narcissistic tendencies. And as far as my ex-husband's concerned, he's trying to make that choice. And I'm going to be here for him in any way I can. And I'm really, really proud of him trying to make the progress. But it takes a long time, and my life has gone in a way of servitude for 24 years. It's not where it's at for me right now. I'm my own person. And it's not that I'm not, you know, it has nothing to do with anger or animosity or anything like that. It's just that this whole last 2 years has been about me learning to love myself. And if I love myself, I got to do what I got to do for myself to be my happiest, best self. And right now, I'm not sure if that means he fits in it. You know, in any way, but I know that I'm very happy with the way that we are connecting and like the new formation of boundaries and the new dynamic of our relationship and the way that everything is going feels good and right. And so I'm happy for that. It takes a really big person to love somebody enough to know that they have to let go just so that that person is their best self too. And I think that both he and I have kind of reached a point where we might not be fully ready to fully admit it to the fullest extent, but we're both at a point where we care and love each other very deeply enough that we can coexist and that we can be, at the very least, a really good friend. You know, who knows where it'll go from there, because I was married for 24 years. I just know that right now in my time I've got to do me. I told this to my niece the other day. I was like, this is nothing, like, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not upset anymore. I'm going to let it all go because I just don't need this shit in my life. But what I do need to do is I got to figure myself out, and I need everybody that does care about me to love me enough to let me do that. And if they really love me, they can be a support in that. But if they're going to stand in my way and they're not going to, like, I mean, I had a real setback with Xavier. Because, you know, he can't cut it. Couldn't do that. Despite all the words and things he wanted to behave as, it was untrue. And people that can't weather me at my worst don't deserve me at my best. Now I'm becoming the best person I've ever been. But I know that I was the worst person the last 2 years. And anybody that's left now, it doesn't give them a free pass. But it just means that you're going to respect me going forward, and I'm going to be healthier, and I'm going to be even better than I was before, and you get to be a part of my life now. If you stuck by me well enough to get that, congratulations, because I'm an amazing person. If you didn't make the cut,
yep.
Well, you're fucked. Don't come to me. Like, I mean, seriously, if you didn't make the cut because you bailed on me, or you lied to me, or you freaking didn't think about how your actions affected me at all, there's not going to be room in my life. I'm not going to open myself up for that again. It's just that simple. And so it has nothing to do with being angry or being hurt or the fact that I struggled so severely with mental illness. None of that is the thing. The thing is that, you know what? I did struggle hard with mental illness. I was, in my mind, a complete shit, okay? And so, hey, shut the door. So anyways, like, I know that about myself. I know exactly. I probably am harder on myself for how difficult and bad choices I made than anybody could ever be hard on me for it, okay? But here's the deal. Anybody that knew me should have known that I was a winning horse. That I have not yet come into something I haven't survived. Now, I may have questioned it for the last year, but imagine how much less I would have questioned it if everybody that I cared about would have supported me instead of trying to tear me down in my weakest link, you know, in my weakest moment. And Xavier wants to believe he's so great, and he wants to believe that he, like, was there to help so much, but he doesn't realize that, like, no, he wasn't. He was getting his own needs met, and he's not going to be willing to admit that. And he wanted to do something, and he was impulsive, and so was I. I'm not fucking trying to say I wasn't, but here's the thing, all right? Because in some ways I very much was. I think less impulsive. I mean, 7-page contract indicates less impulsive. But here's the thing, though, is that you don't get to bail on me, because I already was very well aware and very open about being the biggest shit I have ever been in my life, and how much I was struggling and crying and begging for help in the most healthy manner possible, and unhealthy ones. But I also, like, when I would have my healthier moments, come back and try to say, hey, you know, like, I understand that my behavior was out of line. Here's why I acted that way. Here's what set me off, and here's what I'm trying to do to fix it. That is the way I approached everything. I came with a solution to my own problems. And anybody that got so sick of dealing with me that they couldn't fucking put up with that, well, you were fucking wrong. Because their only option was for me to come out on this better than I was before. And now you're never going to get to experience that. Because I won't let those people back in. I won't. I'm not the same person anymore. And they don't deserve a place in my life. Anybody that gave up on me, bailed on me, or fucking thought that I was too much, I may have been. And I am not going to fucking say I wasn't. But this too shall pass, right? And I have finally gotten past it. And now I think I am more solid of a human being than I have fucking ever been before. And I'm somebody that I want on my team. And it's their loss that I won't be on theirs ever again. Because I no longer have puppy dog syndrome. I'm not going to feel sorry for anybody. I just fought my way through the depths of hell. I'm not going to fight my way through the depths of hell and turn around and then be like, oh, but I feel so sorry for them, and they're just having a hard time, like I used to. Because nobody felt sorry for me. You know? And I'm not saying I wouldn't help somebody. Anybody that's helping themselves, I'll be a great support to. Absolutely. I can be an awesome cheerleader and all of that, but the people that were so close to me that, you know, decided that I wasn't worth sticking around because I was broken and sick. That's okay. I get it. I was too much for you. That's fine. And if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. So move along. It's all right. No hard feelings. I'm not going to be sad. I used to say, it takes me so much to walk away, but I never regretted doing so once I did. You could push me. And it'll take me, I will stay longer than I should invested in people. I will try to help more than I should. I've always been that way. At least that's how that's the point, isn't it? That's maybe what's changed so much in the last 2 years since I've been experiencing all this different way of life, is that now I'm not that way. You're not going to be a lost puppy dog. I'm going to be like, wow, that's rough, man. Yes, you need to figure it out. You know, people that want my advice are going to have to actually come out. It's going to be a fucking trauma thing for me. You're going to have to actually come out and be like, you know, like Parkane does now. He's so awesome. He is such my best friend. But he's like, Andromeda. So here's the situation, and what would you do about, what would Andromeda do? And I'm like, oh my God, you are fucking, that's so cool. Because I don't want to tell you how to do things.